Guys, so welcome to the vlog today. So today Mary's going to rage about children's privacy because I have kids. I have two babies. They're not babies, but they're my babies. They're 14 and 12. And what I've found fascinating over the years is, especially as my son's in high school now, what teachers can and cannot consent for a parent. So this particular blog is about the intersection of HIPAA and FERPA. HIPAA being the Health Insurance Portability and what is it, Accountability Act. I usually get that right. And then FERPA being the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Is that right? I think that's right. Y'all don't judge me if I got them wrong. But if anyway, I know I'm by HIPAA and FERPA more so than the long name. So whatever. So and this article that I read was talking about how school nurses aren't covered under HIPAA, and that some private information of a student or healthcare information could be entered into their educational record and be accessed by school administrators. So under FERPA, there are certain people that have access to your student's record that they don't have to have consent to do so. And it's usually school officials and teachers within the agency or institution whom the agency has determined has a legitimate educational interest, right? So though they could share your student's records without your consent as a parent, back and forth if, through the school system, or if, like transcripts and all that stuff. So but what this article was talking about was, let's say the example they used, like if a high school was doing a STI, sexually transmitted infection screening for their students, right? And they're partnering with a clinic that they're going to utilize, and they're going to screen students that actually want this particular type of screening. And so the school nurse is not covered under HIPAA, but the actual clinic is. So what the article was talking about is, what if they do this collaboration, the student goes through the screening, and then the nurse now makes a note in their educational record, positive or negative, for in this STI screening process. That becomes a part of the quote unquote student record, educational record, not in the healthcare record, which is now accessible by others. So so in most states, in the District in Columbia, in this particular example, the minor has the right to consent to STI screening, and then it's private. Even parents can't find out if the student doesn't want that parent to find out about the results of this STI screening. The right to privacy remains with the minor in that particular instance. But the intersection between when certain laws apply and when certain laws do not apply is I'm particularly sensitive to it when it comes to children's privacy, because as I mentioned previously in a different blog, teachers can consent for me for some of these apps that they're asking my children to download on their devices that they're using for school. But you don't know what they're collecting, who they're sharing that information with. And your average teacher, especially in the junior high school or high school capacity, I just don't think they have that knowledge to understand or to read, in ed tech, so to speak, what is being collected from a privacy perspective about those students. And it just bothers me to no end. And so, of course, I'm the mommy that actually denies or restricts access to certain applications, or at least go in and I sign up for the app as well, and I actually monitor that information. But children's privacy is one of those things that we're supposed to protect them, right? And there's so many different gaps and so many different ways that we are failing as a society in the educational realm, in addition to other areas. And so it's just, you pay attention to that as you're now signing your minor child up for some of these services. And they, sometimes if you're, especially if you're low income type of situation, that you're signing up because you wouldn't get that screening any other place. But understand that those protections that under HIPAA protect you may not apply to a student, a school event that they may have clinical people there. So it's like understanding, and the school, of course, should know this stuff going in. But I mean, there's a lack of knowledge and understanding in academia, period, about cybersecurity and privacy and the things that organizations should be doing and how those laws intersect with one another and where those gaps are. So stay tuned for our random thought. Thanks a lot. Are you a VIP? More importantly, are you a cybersecurity law firm of Texas VIP? What's VIP, you may ask? VIP stands for Virtual Information Protection. For those organizations that may not need a full-time resource to handle their cybersecurity and privacy needs, they can hire the cybersecurity law firm of Texas on an outsourced basis to handle those needs. If you want to learn more, please click the link below. Hi guys, random thought for the day. Okay, surprise, this is law enforcement acting interestingly. I don't know if it's malicious, but it's still negligent. How about that? So the state of California performed an audit. They performed an audit about license plate reader programs, right? And they audited four agencies: the LAPD, Fresno PD, Marin, and Sacramento County Sheriff's Department, for how they were treating license plate information. And oh, it was bad. Let's see, LA all by itself stores 320 million license plate images, and 99.9% of them were not being sought by law enforcement at the time that they were collected. Bad. Then the images were shared with hundreds of other agencies with no, record of how it was justified or legal. Bad. Let's see. None of the agencies had a privacy policy that was in compliance with changes that were made in 2016. Ouch. Then there was almost no policies or protections regarding account creation and use, and they have never audited their own system. So nobody is actually looking at it for unauthorized access if they haven't even audited the darn thing. And the last thing, oh my God, 3 of the agencies stored their images and data with a cloud vendor, and the contract itself had inadequate, if any, protections of the data. So they failed big time of this California audit. I mean, if you're going to store license plate information, which is personally identifiable information about an individual, unless it's a stolen plate, it's you can get my address from my license plate, and it's PII. They're not protecting it. They're sharing it. They're collecting it. They're storing it with no oversight, no audit, no nothing. That's really, really, really bad. And I wonder, and I really wonder what other states, if other states have done this process of auditing, because we all know that the states share or specifically sell your driver's license information and your registration information, and they make millions off of it per year. So, I mean, they're doing all of these things, and they're not, giving any protection to any of it. At least in this particular audit in California, I would be surprised if any other state is any better, because you have all these cool technologies, law enforcement tech, I guess we can call it. And they're doing this stuff, and no one is giving any thought to how this is now impacting the populace, right? But Random thought. Hopefully, no, I can't say hopefully. I have no feeling that it is going to be improved upon unless it's forced to be improved upon. So, have a great day. Bye. Guys, thanks again for listening to the Breach Whisperer blog, sponsored by the cybersecurity law firm of Texas. Don't forget to like this post and subscribe to our channel so you can get updates of when we post new things on our channel. In addition, spread the word for me, right? Let's get out there and tell a friend, and so they can all become paranoid cybersecurity and privacy people. Don't forget, if you would like to connect with me on socials, you can connect with me on Twitter at Mary N. Cheney. Use my middle initial always. For my nonprofit, Minorities in Cybersecurity, that is at Mike Leadership, and Instagram and Facebook at MN Cheney Law. And you can find me on LinkedIn just by searching for my name. So if you're interested, connect with me. Thanks again. And just remember, awareness equals knowledge.